Welcome to Dragon's Den Classics. I'm Ana.
And I'm Russ. We're picking up right where the adrenaline left off in Agatha Christie's The Seven Dials Mystery.
Before we dive into the high-stakes reveals of chapters 25 and 26, we need to look back at the chaotic morning after the midnight shooting at the Abbey.
That's right. Chapter 23 opens with Superintendent Battle in full benevolent curator mode. He's been up since 6 a.m., turning the library into a crime lab. He's got the bullets, the guns, and a very charred, chewed-up glove he calls Exhibit Z.
Battle is playing a very specific game here. He even gets Sir Oswald Coote to reenact throwing the pistol onto the lawn. It turns out Sir Oswald is a lot stronger than the mysterious shooter. His throw went 10 yards further.
But the real bombshell comes from Bundle. She interrupts the meeting to announce that a footman from Chimneys, a man named John Bower, has vanished. Sir Oswald immediately pegs him as the international spy they've been looking for, assuming Bower used Chimneys as a base to infiltrate the Abbey.
Battle seems taken aback by the news, but as we move into chapter 24, Jimmy Thesiger isn't buying the clumsy detective act. He and Bundle realize Battle is a lot deeper than he lets on.
While Jimmy and Bundle try to fit the pieces together, the Countess as number 1 and Bower as number 2, Bundle is convinced there is a number 7 still hiding in the shadows, potentially someone inside the house party.
But Bundle has a more immediate horror to deal with, George Lomax. George has decided that Bundle's serious mind is ripe for political training. He starts treating her like a protege, promising to send her books on political economy.
Poor Bundle. She'd rather face a secret society than a lecture from Cotters. The chapters end when Battle, oddly distracted, found in a cupboard examining golf clubs of all things. When asked why, he simply says he doesn't know when he's beaten. Is Battle looking for a weapon, or is he just starting it all over again, as he says?
If you are enjoying our content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll know when we drop a new episode. Now join us as the next day dawns and we find out what surprises chapters 25 and 26 of Agatha Christie's The Seven Dials Mystery has in store for Bundle and the rest of the cast of characters. Chapter 25, Jimmy lays his plans.
Jimmy Thesiger was feeling depressed. Avoiding George, whom he suspected of being ready to tackle him on serious subjects, he stole quietly away after lunch. Proficient as he was in details of the Santa Fe bordery dispute, he had no wish to stand an examination on it this minute. Presently, what he hoped would happen came to pass. Lorraine Wade, also unaccompanied, strolled down one of the shady garden paths. In a moment, Jimmy was by her side. They walked for some minutes in silence, and then Jimmy said tentatively, "Lorraine?"
Yes?
"Look here. I'm a bad chap at putting things. But what about it? What's wrong with getting a special license and being married and living together happily ever afterwards?"
Lorraine displayed no embarrassment at this surprising proposal. Instead, she threw back her head and laughed frankly.
"Don't laugh at a chap," said Jimmy reproachfully.
I can't help it. You were so funny.
"Lorraine, you are a little devil."
I'm not. I'm what's called a thoroughly nice girl.
"Only to those who don't know you, who are taken in by your delusive appearance of meekness and decorum."
I like your long words.
All out of crossword puzzles.
So educative.
Lorraine, dear, don't beat about the bush. Will you or won't you?
Lorraine's face sobered. It took on its characteristic appearance of determination. Her small mouth hardened and her little chin shot out aggressively. No, Jimmy, not while things are as they are at present, all unfinished.
I know we haven't done what we set out to do, agreed Jimmy. But all the same, well, it's the end of a chapter. The papers are safe at the Air Ministry. Virtue triumphant. And for the moment, nothing's doing.
So, let's get married? Said Lorraine with a slight smile.
You said it. Precisely the idea.
But again, Lorraine shook her head. No, Jimmy. Until this thing's rounded up, until we're safe.
You think we're in danger?
Don't you?
Jimmy's cherubic pink face clouded over. You're right, he said at last. If that extraordinary rigmarole of bundles is true, and I suppose, incredible as it sounds, it must be true, then we're not safe till we're settled with number 7.
And the others?
No, the others don't count. It's number 7 with his own ways of working that frightens me, because I don't know who he is or where to look for him.
Lorraine shivered. I've been frightened, she said in a low voice, ever since Jerry's death.
You needn't be frightened. There's nothing for you to be frightened about. You leave everything to me. I tell you, Lorraine, I'll get number 7 yet. Once we get him, well, I don't think there'll be much trouble with the rest of the gang, whoever they are.
If you get him, and suppose he gets you.
Impossible, said Jimmy cheerfully. I'm much too clever. Always have a good opinion of yourself. That's my motto.
When I think of the things that might have happened last night, Lorraine shivered.
Well, they didn't, said Jimmy. We're both here safe and sound, though I must admit my arm is confoundedly painful.
Poor boy.
Oh, one must expect to suffer in a good cause. And what with my wounds and my cheerful conversation, I've made a complete conquest of Lady Coote.
Oh, do you think that important?
I've an idea it may come in handy.
You've got some plan in your mind, Jimmy. What is it?
The young hero never tells his plans, said Jimmy firmly. They mature in the dark.
You are an idiot, Jimmy.
I know. That's what everyone says. But I can assure you, Lorraine, there's a lot of brain work going on underneath. Now, what about your plans? Got any?
Bundle has suggested that I should go to Chimneys with her for a bit.
Excellent, said Jimmy approvingly. Nothing could be better. I'd like an eye kept on Bundle anyway. You never know what mad thing she won't be up to next. She's so frightfully unexpected. And the worst of it is, she's so astonishingly successful at it. I tell you, keeping Bundle out of mischief is a full-time job.
Bill ought to look after her, suggested Lorraine.
Bill's pretty busy elsewhere.
Don't you believe it, said Lorraine.
What? Not the Countess? But the lad's head over heels about her.
Lorraine continued to shake her head. There's something there I don't quite understand, but it's not the Countess with Bill, it's Bundle. Why, this morning Bill was talking to me when Mr. Lomax came out and sat down by Bundle. He took her hand or something, and Bill was off like a rocket.
What a curious taste some people have, observed Mr. Thesiger. Fancy anyone who is talking to you wanting to do anything else. But you surprise me very much, Lorraine. I thought our simple Bill was enmeshed in the toils of this beautiful foreign adventuress. Bundle thinks so, I know.
Bundle may, said Lorraine, but I tell you, Jimmy, it isn't so.
Then, what's the big idea?
Don't you think it possible that Bill is doing a bit of sleuthing on his own?
Bill? He hasn't got the brains.
I'm not so sure. When a simple, muscular person like Bill does set out to be subtle, no one ever gives him credit for it.
And in consequence, he can put in some good work. Yes, there's something in that. But all the same, I'd never have thought it of Bill. He's doing the Countess's little woolly lamb to perfection. I think you're wrong. You know, Lorraine, the Countess is an extraordinarily beautiful woman. Not my type, of course, put in Mr. Thesiger hastily. And old Bill has always had a heart like a hotel.
Lorraine shook her head, unconvinced.
Well, said Jimmy, have it your own way. We seem to have more or less settled things. You go back with Bundle to Chimneys, and for heaven's sakes, keep her from poking about in that Seven Dials place again. Heaven knows what will happen if she does.
Lorraine nodded.
And now, said Jimmy, I think a few words with Lady Coote would be advisable. Lady Coote was sitting on a garden seat doing wool work. The subject was a disconsolate and somewhat misshapen young woman weeping over an urn. Lady Coote made room for Jimmy by her side, and he promptly, being a tactful young man, admired her work.
Do you like it? Said Lady Coote, pleased. It was begun by my Aunt Selina the week before she died. Cancer of the liver, poor thing.
How beastly, said Jimmy.
And how is the arm?
Oh, it's feeling quite all right. Bit of a nuisance and all that, you know.
You'll have to be careful, said Lady Coote in a warning voice. I've known blood poisoning set in, and in that case you might lose your arm altogether.
Oh, I say, I hope not.
I'm only warning you, said Lady Coote.
Where are you hanging out now? Inquired Mr. Thesiger. Town or where? Considering that he knew the answer to this query perfectly well, he put the question with a praiseworthy amount of ingenuousness.
Sir Oswald has taken the Duke of Alton's place, Leatherbury. You know it, perhaps?
Oh, rather. Topping place, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know, said Lady Coote. It's a very large place, and gloomy, you know. Rows of picture galleries with such forbidding-looking people. What they call old masters are very depressing, I think. You should have seen a little house we had in Yorkshire, Mr. Thesiger, when Sir Oswald was playing Mr. Coote. Such a nice lounge hall and a cheerful drawing-room with an ingle nook. A white striped paper with a frieze of wisteria I chose for it, I remember. Satin stripe, you know, not moire. Much better taste, I always think. The dining room faced northeast, so we didn't get much sun in it, but with a good bright scarlet paper and a set of those comic hunting prints, why, it was as cheerful as Christmas.
In the excitement of these reminiscences, Lady Coote dropped several little balls of wool, which Jimmy dutifully retrieved.
Thank you, my dear, said Lady Coote. Now, what was I saying? Oh, about houses. Yes, I do like a cheerful house, and choosing things for it gives you an interest.
I suppose Sir Oswald will be buying a place of his own one of these days, suggested Jimmy. And then you can have it just as you like.
Lady Coote shook her head sadly. Sir Oswald talks of a firm doing it, and you know what that means.
Oh, but they'd consult you.
It would be one of those grand places, all for the antique. they'd look down on the things I call comfortable and homey. Not but that Sir Oswald wasn't very comfortable and satisfied in his home always, and I dare say his tastes are just the same underneath. But nothing will suit him now but the best. He's got on wonderfully, and naturally he wants something to show for it. But many's the time I wonder where it will end.
Jimmy looked sympathetic.
It's like a runaway horse, said Lady Coot. Got the bit between its teeth and away it goes. It's the same with Sir Oswald. He's got on and he's got on till he can't stop getting on. He's one of the richest men in England now, but does that satisfy him? No, he still wants more. He wants to be... I don't know what he wants to be. I can tell you, it frightens me sometimes.
Like the Parisian Johnny, said Jimmy, who went about wailing for fresh worlds to conquer.
Lady Coot noted acquiescence, without much knowing what Jimmy was talking about. What I wonder is, will his stomach stand it? She went on tearfully. To have him an invalid, with his ideas, oh, it won't bear thinking of.
He looks very hearty, said Jimmy consolingly.
He's got something on his mind, said Lady Coot. Worried, that's what he is, I know.
What's he worried about?
I don't know. Perhaps something at the works. It's a great comfort for him having Mr. Bateman. Such an earnest young man, and so conscientious.
Marvelously conscientious, agreed Jimmy.
Oswald thinks a lot of Mr. Bateman's judgment. He says that Mr. Bateman is always right.
That was one of his worst characteristics years ago, said Jimmy feelingly.
Lady Coot looked slightly puzzled.
That was an awfully jolly weekend I had with you at Chimneys, said Jimmy. I mean, it would have been awfully jolly if it hadn't been for poor Jerry kicking the bucket. Jolly nice girls.
I find girls very perplexing, said Lady Coot. Not romantic, you know. Why, I embroidered some handkerchiefs for Sir Oswald with my own hair when we were engaged.
Did you? Said Jimmy. How marvelous! But I suppose girls haven't got long enough hair to do that nowadays.
That's true, admitted Lady Coot. But, oh, it shows in lots of other ways. I remember when I was a girl, one of my young men, picked up a handful of gravel, and a girl who was with me said at once that he was treasuring it because my feet had trodden on it. Such a pretty idea, I thought, though it turned out afterwards that he was taking a course of mineralogy, or do I mean geology, at a technical school. But I liked the idea, and stealing a girl's handkerchief and treasuring it, all those sorts of things.
Awkward if the girl wants to blow her nose, said the practical Mr. Thesiger.
Lady Coot laid down her woolwork and looked searchingly but kindly at him. Come now, she said. Isn't there some nice girl that you fancy, that you'd like to work and make a little home for?
Jimmy blushed and mumbled.
I thought you got on very well with one of those girls at Chimneys that time, Vera Daventry.
Socks?
They do call her that, admitted Lady Coot. I can't think why. It isn't pretty.
Oh, she's a topper, said Jimmy. I'd like to meet her again.
She's coming down to stay with us next weekend.
Is she? Said Jimmy, trying to infuse a large amount of wistful longing into the two words.
Yes. Would you like to come?
I would, said Jimmy heartily. Thanks ever so much, Lady Coot. And reiterating fervent thanks, he left her. Sir Oswald presently joined his wife. What has that young jackanapes been boring you about? He demanded. I can't stand that young fellow.
He's a dear boy, said Lady Coot. And so brave. Look how he got wounded last night.
Yes, messing around where he had no business to be.
I think you're very unfair, Oswald.
Never done an honest day's work in his life. A real master, if there ever was one. He'd never get on if he had to make his own way in the world.
You must have got your feet damp last night, said Lady Coote. I hope you won't get pneumonia. Freddie Richards died of it the other day. Dear me, Oswald, it makes my blood run cold to think of you wandering about with a dangerous burglar loose in the grounds. He might have shot you. I've asked Mr. Thesiger down for the weekend, by the way.
Nonsense, said Sir Oswald. I won't have that young man in my house. Do you hear, Maria?
Why not?
That's my business.
I'm so sorry, dear, said Lady Coote placidly. I've asked him now, so it can't be helped. Pick up that ball of pink wool, will you, Oswald?
Sir Oswald complied, his face black as thunder. He looked at his wife and hesitated. Lady Coote was placidly threading her wool needle. I particularly don't want Thesiger down next weekend, he said at last. I've heard a good deal about him from Bateman. He was at school with him.
What did Mr. Bateman say?
He'd nothing good to say about him. In fact, he warned me very seriously against him.
He did he? Said Lady Coote thoughtfully.
And I have the highest respect for Bateman's judgment. I've never known him to be wrong.
Dear me, said Lady Coote. What a mess I seem to have made of things. Of course, I should never have asked him had I known. You should have told me all this before, Oswald. It's too late now.
She began to roll up her work very carefully. Sir Oswald looked at her, made as if to speak, then shrugged his shoulders. He followed her into the house. Lady Coote, walking ahead, wore a very faint smile on her face. She was fond of her husband, but she was also very fond, in a quiet, unobtrusive, wholly womanly manner, of getting her own way.
Chapter 26, mainly about golf.
That friend of yours is a nice girl, Bundle, said Lord Caterham.
Lorraine had been at Chimneys for nearly a week and had earned the high opinion of her host, mainly because of the charming readiness she had shown to be instructed in the science of the mashie shot. Bored by his winter abroad, Lord Caterham had taken up golf. He was an execrable player and in consequence was profoundly enthusiastic over the game. He spent most of his mornings lofting mashie shots over various shrubs and bushes, or rather, essaying to loft them, hacking large bits out of the velvety turf, and generally reducing MacDonald to despair.
We must lay out a little course, said Lord Caterham, addressing a daisy. A sporting little course. Now then, just watch this one, Bundle. Off the right knee, slow back, keep the head still, and use the wrists.
The ball, heavily topped, scudded across the lawn and disappeared into the unfathomed depths of a great bank of rhododendrons.
Curious, said Lord Caterham. What did I do then, I wonder? As I was saying, Bundle, that friend of yours is a very nice girl. I really think I'm inducing her to take quite an interest in the game. She hit some excellent shots this morning. Really quite as good as I could do myself.
Lord Caterham took another careless swing and removed an immense chunk of turf. MacDonald, who was passing, retrieved it and stamped it firmly back. The look he gave Lord Caterham would have caused anyone but an ardent golfer to sink through the earth. If MacDonald has been guilty of cruelty to Coots, which I strongly suspect, said Bundle, he's being punished now.
Why shouldn't I do as I like in my own garden? demanded her father. "MacDonald ought to be interested in the way my game is coming on. The Scotch are a great golfing nation."
You poor old man, said Bundle. You'll never be a golfer, but at any rate it keeps you out of mischief.
"Not at all," said Lord Caterham. "I did the long sixth in 5 the other day. The pro was very surprised when I told him about it."
He would be, said Bundle.
"Talking of coots, Sir Oswald plays a fair game, a very fair game. Not a pretty style, too stiff, but straight down the middle every time. But curious how the cloven hoof shows. Won't give you a 6-inch putt, though. Makes you put it in every time. Now, I don't like that."
I suppose he's a man who likes to be sure, said Bundle.
"It's contrary to the spirit of the game," said her father. "And he's not interested in the theory of the thing either. Says he just plays for exercise and doesn't bother about style. Now that secretary chap, Bateman, is quite different. It's the theory that interests him. I was slicing badly with my spoon, and he said it all came from too much right arm. And he evolved a very interesting theory. It's all left arm in golf. The left arm is the arm that counts. He says he plays tennis left-handed, but golf with ordinary clubs because there his superiority with his left arm tells."
And did he play very marvelously? Inquired Bundle.
"No, he didn't," confessed Lord Caterham. "But then he may have been having an off game. I see the theory all right, and I think there's a lot to it. Ah, did you see that one, Bundle? Right over the rhododendrons. A perfect shot. Ah, if only I could do that every time." "Yes, Treadwell, what is it?"
Treadwell addressed Bundle.
"Mr. Thesiger would like to speak to you on the telephone, my lady."
Bundle set off at full speed for the house, yelling, "Lorraine, Lorraine," as she did so. Lorraine joined her just as she was lifting the receiver. "Hello, is that you, Jimmy?"
"Hello, how are you?"
Very fit, but a bit bored.
"How's Lorraine?"
She's all right. She's here. Do you want to speak to her?
"In a minute. I've got a lot to say. To begin with, I'm going down to the Coots for the weekend," he said significantly. "Now, look here, Bundle. You don't know how one gets hold of skeleton keys, do you?"
Haven't the foggiest. Is it really necessary to take skeleton keys to the Coots?
"Well, I had a sort of idea they'd come in handy. You don't know the sort of shop one gets them at, do you?"
What you want is a kindly burglar friend to show you the ropes.
"I do, Bundle, I do. And unfortunately, I haven't got one. I thought perhaps your bright brain might grapple successfully with the problem. But I suppose I shall have to fall back upon Stevens, as usual. He'll be getting some funny ideas in his head about me this time. First a blue-nosed automatic and now skeleton keys. He'll think I've joined the criminal classes."
Jimmy? Said Bundle.
"Yes?"
Look here. Be careful, won't you? I mean, if Sir Oswald finds you nosing around with skeleton keys, well, I should think he could be very unpleasant when he likes.
"Young man of pleasing appearance in the dock. All right, I'll be careful. Pongo's the fellow I'm really frightened of. He sneaks around on those flat feet of his. You never hear him coming, and he always did have a genius for poking his nose in where he wasn't wanted. But trust to the boy hero."
Well, I wish Lorraine and I were going to be there to look after you.
"Thank you, nurse. As a matter of fact, though, I have a scheme.
Yes?
Do you think you and Lorraine might have a convenient car breakdown near Letherbury tomorrow morning?" It's not so very far from you, is it?
40 miles, that's nothing.
I thought it wouldn't be, to you. Don't kill Lorraine, though. I'm rather fond of her. All right, then. Somewhere round about 11:45.
So that they invite us to lunch?
That's the idea. I say, Bundle, I ran into that girl's socks yesterday. What do you think? Terrence O'Rourke is going to be down there this weekend.
Jimmy, do you think he...
Well, suspect everyone, you know. That's what they say. He's a wild lad and daring as they make him. I wouldn't put it past him to run a secret society. He and the Countess might be in this together. He was out in Hungary last year.
But he could pinch the formula any time.
That's just what he couldn't. He'd have to do it under circumstances where he couldn't be suspected. But the retreat up the ivy and into his own bed, well, that would be rather neat. Now for instructions. After a polite nothings to Lady Coote, you and Lorraine are to get a hold of Pongo and O'Rourke by hook or by crook and keep them occupied till lunchtime. See? It oughtn't be too difficult for a couple of beautiful girls like you.
You're using the best butter, I see.
A plain statement of fact.
Well, at any rate, your instructions are duly noted. Do you want to talk to Lorraine now?
Bundle passed over the receiver and tactfully left the room. Well, now that we've followed the trail through the latest twists and turns, I have to ask, Anna, what were your biggest takeaways from the revelations in chapters 25 and 26?
Well, that starts right off in the front. It seems like there's a bit of romance going on between the characters. Jimmy straight out asks Lorraine to get married. She says no, but only because the whole business hasn't wrapped up yet, so I think there's still a little hope for them. And Lorraine is also aware of Bill's feelings toward Bundle. She saw how he ran away when Bundle and George got a little too close. So perhaps Bill...
Yeah, I think there's something going on there, and it seemed very casual the way he asked her to get married. So, on a different note, one thing that stuck out to me was that Jimmy doubted that Bill was even up to par to do any sleuthing or to do anything sneaky. But Lorraine thought he was wrong. So Lorraine thinks that Bill might be up to more than what they, initially thought, So just because he's a big, burly, brawny kind of guy doesn't mean he can't be sneaky and, cook up a scheme. So I do think possibly Bill might be able to get something out of that Countess Radsky if he tries.
Yeah, you never know. That also makes me think of... why is Jimmy getting close to Lady Coote? It's a kind of odd pairing.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, because I don't know what the benefit could be there, but it's also like Sir Oswald doesn't like him at all, so they're kind of at odds there. Maybe Jimmy is keeping an eye on him, because remember where we last found Sir Oswald?
Definitely. Sir Oswald is kind of seeming like a member of the Seven Dials Club to me.
Yeah.
Also, in the next chapter, Lord Caterham is providing the comedy yet again. I love the way that she inserts comedy in her in this story. And it's just little bits and pieces. And it's rather dry. I'll grant you that. But I do have a dry sense of humor. So he picked up golf sooner than Superintendent Battle. Although I'm not quite sure that whole golf thing with Superintendent Battle was really about him picking up golf, or if he's thinking about something trying to figure out something in the mystery, So, but, Lord Caterham, it seems like he isn't very good, obviously, which is part of the comedic part of it.
Yeah.
But then again, neither are any of the other characters. As Bundle said, at least it keeps him out of mischief.
Yeah, at least. Well, next, Jimmy calls Bundle to ask if she can get any skeleton keys or knows where they are. I'm not really sure why he thinks that she knows all of the underworld nowadays, but seeing as he was invited over to the Coots on a whim, he must have spotted an opportunity to snoop from a mile away. I just hope he really doesn't get caught.
Yeah, it's like asking these days, where can I buy a set of lock picks or something like that? Very sneaky. And I thought it was very funny how he's now worried about his butler getting the wrong opinion of him because first he asked him to go buy a gun for him. Now he's asking him to go buy some skeleton keys for him.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping by the Dragon Den. Please join us next time when we bend a page and explore chapters 27 and 28 of The Seven Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie.